Friday, I'm doing a 30-minute session for clients. I'm going to be sharing psychic wisdom and energy healing. If any of you are interested in exploring a session with me, please come visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. All right, so I'm going to read the goals here, get started. Okay. Hey, Abby, can you please focus on my hips and feet? My hips are really bugging me a lot. They're giving me a lot of pain and are really stiff. I've been dealing with this for years. My feet are also hurting a lot. There's something of heart energy involved with this, and it feels like sinking down energy, like emotions or heart that's sinking down into the hips, unresolved feelings that then are getting kind of stored in your sacral chakra, are creating too much weight, basically, energy weight. But let's take a look, okay? Thank you so much for the opportunity to connect with you today, and thank you so much for this gift to share with others, for all of us to learn today something from your awesome soul. So, okay, your hips and your feet. Your hips and your feet are hurting a lot, and they have been. Your hips have been for years. Stiff. Okay. All right, I'm gonna relax now and get started. Right now, I'm just gonna look at you, then I'm gonna look at your hips, okay? And let's just see what they look like first thing in the energy world. All right, the first thing is they're enormous. They're like super big hips, and then you're like this skinny little body on top of really big hips. So that's what it looks like, okay? So I'm just gonna touch the hips, the bones themselves, the joints, everything that creates that structure. You know what's interesting? When I tapped into your goals, it felt there was a lot of emotional sensitivity, and I felt really drawn to exploring that. But something inspired me to let's just look at just the hips, and for starters. So I'm doing that, and I'm placing my hands directly on the most physical part of your hips, okay? And it's almost like this emotional stuff is getting in the way of just allowing the physical to heal. And when I go straight to the physical and override the emotional, there's something to it, okay? I don't know yet how to explain it other than it feels good. It feels good to not have the emotional in the way of the physical. That's part of the message, okay? Also, I have my hand on the right and the left sides, right here on the hips, okay? Right at the bones, right at the tissues, okay? Right at the joint sockets and however that stuff works, right there. And it feels therapeutic for your emotional gut, feels therapeutic for your heart. It feels like you're reaching me. I am reaching you. That's literally what the experience is. I am going past all this other energy stuff in the way, and I'm just going straight to you. I am reaching you. And that's really meaningful. When someone reaches you, is really impactful. So that's the next thing. I'm just gonna focus for a bit, okay? making my nose itch, making my eyebrow itch. Everything has a meaning, I swear. Oh man, it's grindy. It's uncomfortable. It's like grinding, you know? It kind of, the image that comes to me is, we have a tribal community, and we have, I don't know if these are kind of like made out of rock or something, but it's grinding materials down into basically dust. I don't know, maybe actually working on grinding things into a paste, grinding things, but we're using kind of a rock and then a bowl type rock, and then we're grinding it in there. And it's not, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Now, if we're going to make something medicinal, excellent. If we're going to be grinding bones together, terrible. We don't want to grind the bones together. You're really familiar with this, with the grinding. You're really familiar with that. And there's something nice about it when your soul looks at that image. You guys know what I'm talking about. Watch Discovery Channel or something like history. I swear, we all have seen this. What is this? It's a grinding thing. It's a man-made grinding thing, okay? Okay. And your soul loves it. Actually is sitting down now. Cross-legged, sitting down on the butt. And the hips are there. Sitting on the butt and the hips. And now you're grinding things. And you don't just focus on the job. You actually enjoy the sound of the grinding. It's like an ASMR thing. Oh man, it's freaking me out. It actually feels really good on my heart. And your soul is kind of merging with a more of a physical experience, maybe something from your timeline where you did this. And you're very feminine feeling to me, and you are grinding. So you like the sound of it. You love the sound of it. You like the work of it. You like the accomplishment. You like everything that this is about. You like it. But your hips in the scene are starting to ache as you sit and do this, and there's not really a comfortable position to sit in. But you ignore it. You choose to ignore it because this part of yourself says the body gets old, the body ages, the body aches, and that's normal. The body just does these things, and that's normal. That's kind of what it's emanating, that I'm still in the experience of what is like a community that lives, and it's a community. It's like 100 people or more, but it's not huge, not like thousands, but it's a community, and it feels very close to the planet, very earthy. It's not showing me a specific location on the planet or a specific cultural look or anything. Showing me the experience, though. Showing me you aging in this experience, and how uncomfortable it starts to feel just to sit down and to do this nice task. And what you say to yourself is, the body gets older. That's just part of life. So something of that statement creates an optimistic acceptance of age. An optimistic acceptance of age, and the acceptance somehow has a juice to it. It's kind of got a juice to it. And you relax into your hips more. You relax into the experience more. You don't find a disappointment with aging or the way this feels. Even if it's kind of uncomfortable, you let it go. And you go back to the harmony of the grinding sound. This is very therapeutic for your heart. See, there is an emotional connection with the physical here. This is a very therapeutic experience. And I feel it too, emotional gut. So now that we've seen the grinding of things into a dust, We've experienced the grinding of bones together and how that hurts. We've experienced what is a time of doing this for years, enjoying the sounds as the body ages, accepting that the body ages, and finding an optimism that creates more of a comfort in the hips. All of this is working together here to alter the way that this is energetically moving through your life today, okay? I'm going back to the present. I'm going back to you in the physical. You want to look at the grinding of the bones. You want to look at the discomfort. And you feel strongly that there is a solution to everything and that people don't have to live with pain, or people don't have to live with the body degrading over time. It's not something we have to live with. There are solutions here. That there are literally solutions. You're emanating, this present you is emanating that the earth provides. This world provides solutions. There are solutions to everything. And I say, okay, put your hands on your hips with me. So you stand with me. We kind of stand as one here. And then we're looking at you and the hips. And then together our hands then touch your hips. I feel the heart move about this. I'm going to keep this experience in motion, okay? This experience is maintaining. It's going to stay in motion. I'm just going to set this experience over there where it is going to continue, all right? Now I'm going to go into a different angle of this so we can start building upon the experience, really make a change for you in the way this feels. I want to take a look at your feet though as well, but let's keep working on this. Okay. Let's heal these achy hips. Let's heal it. Show me. Show me what we need to see in order to heal this. Okay, here we go. Heart is very heavy and it weighs you down forward. I see a person, doesn't matter the age because they don't really look, man, it's making me want to cry. She's female. I hear Les Miserables. Les Miserables. I hear that. And she's sad. She's broken down. I experience she's in poverty. And I experience she can't carry the weight. And her heart is so heavy and it is on the ground, even like a heavy stone that she has to carry. And it drags on the ground as she moves through what is the city street. And it's an older time. She ignores the needs of her, literally her sexuality, her sacral chakra energy, her divine feminine energy. She ignores it. That's the only way I could describe it. The heart continues to drag on the sidewalk. Could be a dirty old Paris city, like it's older Paris or older London. It's got that kind of older European, or it really wants to centralize around France, okay? I really firmly say, get up. Really firmly, I say this. When I say get up, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. I get really firm about it, like that. Stand up. There's a reason why I'm doing it, and I can explain in a minute. I want to see what happens here. Okay, how do I find the words to explain? She has the power to stand up. She has the power to tuck the heart back where it goes and to release the weight. She's choosing to be miserable. She's choosing to be miserable. So when I say stand up, it's like stand up and live for you. Live for life itself. Live. Let your heart beat in your chest. And it is aggressive. It is aggressive because I care that much for you. I care for you in a way that this you can't seem to let you care about yourself. And that's not good enough. You have to care about yourself. You have to. You have to. If you don't care about yourself, what does that mean? If you don't care about yourself, what does that mean? We have to care about ourselves. I have to care about me. You have to care about you. You have to care. You have to really care about you, okay? What is the relationship between your heart, heavy on the ground, being dragged? It's like, okay, I'm going to finish the statement. Your heart and then your sacral chakra. It is about sexuality. It is about intimacy. It is about sexual nurture. It is, okay? And you have this very stubborn need to maintain this behavior and to be les miserables. You choose to be les miserables. You choose it. Why? No. Why do you want that? I don't want that. I don't want that. Okay. Oh man. Another you coming out from the side, crying, looking, and your tears are rainbowy. It's really neat, actually, but genuine tears. They look like rainbows. It's really interesting to look at. And you're crying these tears and you're looking at this you, and she carries the weight in the heart that falls to the ground, and she doesn't stop. And it doesn't matter. It's like she'll keep being the oxen that must continue to move forward, but she'll also move forward with the weight that she chooses to continue to carry. And all of this can stop when you just choose to care about you. And nothing to do with selfish. I don't like that word, selfish, ew. It has nothing to do with that feeling, that vibe at all. It's just caring about yourself. It's like, I care about myself enough to acknowledge what my needs are, and that those needs matter, and that they have to be met if I'm going to live a stable, balanced life where I can stand up for me and live for the me that is truly aligned with a balanced me, a balanced, harmonious me. You have to care about discovering what a balanced, harmonious you, what kind of choices does that you make? What kind of lifestyle does that you live? What kind of relationships does that you build? You know? Actually play pretend, fantasize, think about it in your mind, and explore what that kind of you, a harmonious you, what if you were the harmonious you right now, how would you shape your life differently? How would you make different choices? I mean, that's kind of what it's saying here. You see, this again is bring it back to the emotional stuff and the weight upon the hips. Hips have to carry a lot of weight here. And is it physical weight? It's emotional, unresolved emotional weight that you're stubbornly carrying. You refuse to live without it. Is it yours? Is it all entirely your weight that you're carrying? Okay, let's go back to the you that says, I don't want this. Okay. This you is looking at this you with the heart, the Les Miserables you, like you with the rainbow tears, or rainbow tears you, and then the Les Miserables you is. And there's a slowing down of time. There's an actual intimacy and nurture towards yourself developing here. True love. Feels like true love. Towards yourself. You are truly in true love. Your true love is yourself. You are in love. You have found your true love. And it is you. You can love you. You can treat you the way you would treat your true love, right? Is you. Okay? Is you. So this is good, because as we explore this, there's another you. Gosh. And it's nasty. It's not nice. It's like an Oscar the Grouch, but it's like a dirty, nasty clog face. And it's mean and bitter and cloggy. It's like an Oscar the Grouch. It lives in a trash can. It's like, that's so sad. Like, what is Oscar the Grouch really teaching us? Really important things. It's sad to see that Oscar the Grouch lives in a trash can and he's always grouchy because he lives in a trash can. This grouchy is like this. Doesn't want you to find your true love, which is yourself. Doesn't want you to treat yourself as you would treat your true love. And so as time slows and you're developing an intimacy with yourself, the Les Miserables you, the you with the rainbow tears is tuning in. And through that tuning in is helping the other you to stop the behavior. Now we have a manifestation of a you that doesn't want the behavior to stop. And a third version, okay, is now going to create conflict in order to allow the behavior to continue, okay? And I tell the rainbow tears you to look at the Oscar the Grouch you and slow down time and find the true love in Oscar the Grouch as well. Heart is breaking, but it's in a good, gentle way, and it's love. It's kind of seeing you. You're seeing you. And the Oscar the Grouch has no power over this. When it now is loved, it can only be the receiver of that, because you are also this. You are the giver and the receiver of this. As you give, you receive. And then it becomes balanced on the sides, the many sides. Your heart is better. Still work to do. I'm to go back. We're going to continue. This is still happening. Time slowing down. Rainbow tears you is nurturing. Les Miserables you is nurturing. The Oscar the Grouch you nurturing. Okay. Power of love happening here. I'm going to take this. Let it continue over there. All right. Now I'm going to go back to, we're going to touch the hips. So let's see what's going on here. Oh, not what I expected. All chaos is unleashing for some reason. There's like whooshes here and fluffers there and blue. It's everywhere. It's like there's these movements of black energy and they're just going in every direction like a party popper, but it's not good. It's like wild winds and they're just everywhere, going in every direction here. And they're angry. They're really angry. They don't want this to stop. They don't want your pain to heal. They don't want it to heal. Doing whatever it takes to get you back in line in your place in suffering, okay? But you want it though too, right? No, of course not. So we got to work through these interesting inner dynamics, right? I come back and I merge with me and you. And I hold my hands here. Now we have 3. And there's nasty, weird, it's like a bone-eating bacteria. I mean, there's a green substance that's trying to consume the tissues of the bone. Don't worry, this is on the energy side of things. I mean, they're not saying that's actually happening in the present physical. They're just showing me it in the energy side. And that could be residue, emotional residue, life residue that built up there is eating away at your bones, is eating away at your hips. Again, goes back to heart energy, but I'm going to continue to look at the physical stuff on the energy side. Screaming, it hates you, I hate you, you should die now, I hate your guts. It says stuff like this. It's a lot of self-persecution. All your fault, you did it. Blame game here on you. You're to blame. You. You're terrible, a terrible person. You're bad. Okay. That needs to stop. That needs to stop. Other nasty yous, other versions of the Oscar the Grouch yous. And they're like whips that whip my flesh in the face. And they don't want it to stop. And they hate me for wanting to heal you. They hate you for wanting to heal yourself. They hate you. You should hate yourself. You should freaking be dead. I mean, they're really mean. They're really, 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 really mean, okay? We're just going to continue to focus on this. Now I'm going to go look at all these dark things, okay? And the additional Oscar the Grouch yous that are like whips. That like whip me in my face. So we're going to continue this process, healing your hips, and then we're going to look at all this energy that is trying to get in the way of that progress, okay? She's weird. The one, she forms into a persona of a woman, and she's a black energy, and she has sores all over her face. She has scabs, sores all over her face. She has eyes that have been whipped many times and are bleeding, and she has like vampire teeth, and she's full of hate. She's in pain. I mean, I'm just like, my God, you're in so much pain. So you are mad at you for what you did to yourself, and now you hate yourself. See the inner workings of your inner world. You separate from yourself many times in a single life here. And then you have multiple personalities in there that are beneath the surface of your conscious mind, and you kind of move forward as what version of yourself? You kind of work with the many and create consensus as to what you feel comfortable with at this time. And so you're always kind of working with all this stuff going on. Now, when you do something to hurt yourself because you weren't strong enough to say no to that person, or you weren't strong enough to forgive yourself at that time, or whatever, you can break apart. Now you hate yourself. Just that one instant alone can have unresolved Oscar the Grouch use, because they were the ones that took on the pain and you did that to them. But why? You are, all of yous are you. So I just tell her that you're doing the best that you can. She says, no, you're doing it on purpose. She says, you're doing this to me on purpose. Because you hate me. And then she basically echoes, I hate you. Okay? She's energy that is residing in your hips, and it's very painful. Very, very, very unresolved, painful energy. And she's like the nasty that's eating away the bone tissues, okay? She doesn't want to heal. And I say, but you're in pain. So you don't want to heal because the pain was done to you. You separated. Now, whatever you define as the you that did it to you, you want that you to be in pain. So now that you can learn its lesson. So now you're going to go eat away at the bones and make it hurt. The hips is where you're going to live. And now all you're going to do is hurt yourself because the separate you is also you. I mean, this is literally what's going on here. She's like, wait, I'm hurting me? And I start to blow up reality here. Yeah, and I'm allowing this to feel the you and now the present you and the hips that hurt. And I say, yes, she doesn't even know. She's not even consciously aware of all of this. Like, you gotta give a little bit. You're gonna have to give a little bit of support to yourself. You're gonna have to care about yourself. She's like, there's also many piranhas, okay, eating away at the bone tissue. Very disorienting on my head because the energy's shifting here. It makes me emotional. Major progress, major progress. A lot of things are calming down. These winds calming down. All calming down. Calming down. I touch her face and I say, I'm so sorry. I touch her eyes, like, I mean, it's like I'm not poking her in the eyes, more like just putting my hands over her eyes, and I say, I'm so sorry for pain, the pain that you've been through. She's really angry. She says, I'm not loved. She says, nobody loves me. Nobody loves me. She says that. And so I don't know what she's doing. She takes her hand and she pulls out chunks of her face. And she says, nobody loves me. She pulls out more chunks of her face. It shows she's torturing herself because nobody loves her and she can't cope with it. So her only response is basically an insane need to hurt her face. It's changing. Everything's changing. I'm entering into a totally new scene and there's a horse, a brown horse, and there's like an adobe. I don't know why I'm calling it that. It's like a rounded, made out of mud hut. It's got a rounded door. You can go in and then there it is on the inside. It's like made out of mud, okay? There's a horse outside. There's a very peculiar man, and there's lots of, the smoke has the message. The message is in the smoke. And he's like a shaman of the tribe. He's here to help you. Because what's interesting is he talks about smoke, he talks about clarity. So smoke fogs our minds or fogs our perception, but somehow in the smoke is the clarity. I mean, it is wise. Somehow there is wisdom to this, okay? Like, I feel it. I feel it in his body. I feel it in his expression. I feel it in the horse and the hut and the smoke. I feel what he is saying. Is it the words that we're trying to be logical about it? Or is it the spirit of his words that changes us? The smoke gives clarity. And then he shows me a mind that's full of smoke and the mind can't think clearly. But the answer is in the smoke. And this has nothing to do with marijuana or anything like that. It's literally just simply the spirit of the fire, the smoke that releases, the spirit of this. He speaks with spirit energy. You don't know how to enter into his hut because you don't want to see yourself for who you truly are. You don't want to look at yourself in the mirror, the truth, because you don't want to change. He's trying to help you. He blows smoke into your face, and it's the smoke from the fire. It's the smoke in the hut. You don't cough or anything from it. It's just, but it's not smoke. It's spirit. That's what it is. He blows spirit upon your face. Looks like smoke. Spirit. Smoke will give you clarity. It's the spirit energy. You resist, but you don't. Some parts of you definitely do not, but some parts do. But the you that has the scabs is receiving the spirit energy. We're going to bring the Les Miserables, the Oscar, the Grouch, and the Rainbow Tears into this. We're going to bring all the hips healing into this. We're going to merge it all together. We're going to get back to balance. We're going to bring it all back into balance. And he's showing me that this hut represents what is your sacral chakra, your divine feminine space. And he's bringing spirit into this space. He's bringing yourself back to yourself in this space. He's helping you to gain clarity. You are resisting clarity. And he brings this energy here into the center of your hips, and then it expands energy outward to soothe you. And your stance on your life, on yourself, that's why these places ache, your feet, your hips. It's about your stance. All right. That's all I can share. I will say you feel marvelously transformed. You feel moved. Your heart is bright. You're understanding, you're seeing, you're open. You are starting to allow more of the spirit energy to come in. You're allowing yourself to be more vulnerable to hearing the truth. It's kind of what the truth, or it could just be the epiphany that you need in order to see you, and the ability to make self-loving choices, to shift your stance and make it a harmonious one, healthy one, a self-loving one. It's good stuff. Thank you very, 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 very much for this. Really appreciate it. And I feel so moved by all the different exchanges and places that we've been in, what we've seen and shared together. I feel really moved by it. And thank you. And thank you everybody for watching and for all your kind comments and support of my clients. I hope you all have a very wonderful day.